Shalom, Chevra. How are you? I want to speak about the idea of a process and trusting in the process. To bring it down, like maybe a little bit more concrete, a couple weeks back before Pesach, I had to cancel our flights to Chicago for obvious reasons, and had to call up Priceline, had to go through many teleprompters and alike, and eventually I was able to get a refund for the flight. We had insurance. I wanted to get a refund for the insurance as well. Had to ask that. Okay, transfer you over here. Thank God, at the end of this process, um, I was able to get everything back. But Chazdei Hashem, right? I could probably end the Divrei Torah right there, right? That's always a good story. But the point here is there's a process. And whether I had to understand why I had to press this button and then that button and this button, okay, fine. This is what I had to go through to get to where I ended up. And I didn't even know if I was going to be a matzliach in my journey. I had no clue if at the end of the day I would have gotten everything back or not. That's part of the adventure, I guess. This week's Parsha highlights the idea of processes. And one such process I would like to bring to light. So we know that there is this concept of tsaras, which is often translated as leprosy, but it's more like a spiritual affliction because tsaras can affect an individual's body, it can affect their clothing, it can affect their homes, their houses, the walls of their houses. And there's some curious psukim. Actually, growing up, I always found that these psukim really spoke to me because felt like it was saying that there should be loopholes. Loopholes are given credence in our tradition, and I'll tell you what I mean. I'll show you what I mean right here. When we come to Eretz Yisrael, you have your homes, and if your home gets tsaras, you have to bring a Kohen in to declare that indeed it is tsaras, in which case, when it's put into such a state, when it's been declared that your home is tsaras, everything within inside becomes tameh, and as it were, unusable. So the Torah, in its infinite wisdom, says, let's not be an idiot here. Take everything out of your house and then have the Kohen come here. I'm reading from Vayikra Yud Dalid. This is Lamed Dalid, Lamed Hey, Lamed Vav, Leviticus 14, Leviticus 14 verses 32 and onward. So fine, when you come and you get this tsaras on your home, right? Uva asher lo habayit v'gila kohen lemor. This is what you're supposed to tell the kohen. Kenega nira li babayit. It appears as if a nega, an affliction, this abnormality that we call tsaras of the house has appeared, right? And as we're, even if you know all the halachot and you know 100% for sure that this is tsaras, no, you have to tell the kohen like so. And what's going to happen? V'tziva kohen ufinu es habayis b'terem yavo hakohen lerot et hanega. Before the kohen comes to see the house, remove everything that's inside the house. Why? V'lo yitma kol asher babayit. And you're not going to become tameh. Everything is not going to become impure, that which is in the house. As it were, I may have thought, okay, once this happens, bring the coin as soon as you can and have him check it out, and then, oh my gosh, all my stuff becomes impure. So the loophole is, no, don't be an idiot. Get everything out, and then have the coin come. Okay, that's maybe a little bit more of an immature way to look at it, but the point here is there's a specific process. And even if you know better, even if you know for sure that it's tsaras, if you're not the coin, it doesn't matter. And maybe you want to be Mazares and, quickly, now that I see that this, come, get the coin here. No. Take everything out of your house. There's an entire process. Now, it's very interesting because highlighting, again, this concept of a process, what happens after this? after the Kohen sees what's going on here, if he sees that the walls of the house are cracked or they have hues of red or green, so then the Kohen says that the house has to wait, they'll put it in, as it were, a quarantine for 7 days, and the Kohen's going to return, and depending on if this has spread or not, that will be the determining factor whether or not there's tsaras in the house or not. Now, it's interesting. The Piazetzner Rebbe asks on this concept of waiting in an extra 7 days, why? Rashi quotes the Medrash that says that when Am Yisrael was in the Midbar, the Amorim that were in the land of Canaan were afraid that that Am Yisrael would get to Canaan and take over, which they did. So what do? They hid all of their treasures inside the walls of their homes. And the Midrash says that when you got saras in your house, that was actually an indication that there was treasure in the walls. So I don't know if you'd necessarily be so euphoric about taking everything out of your house, but you knew that it was going to end up all right because you got tsaras, if it indeed became tsaras, in your house as an indication that there was treasure in the walls. So the Piazetzner Rebbe asks on this Midrash, asks on the Rashi, and says, wait a second, I don't understand. Hashem wants to give us such a gift? Like, that there's treasure in our walls? Why do I have to wait 7 days? Why do I have to remove everything from my house? Kind of seems a little bit like, what? I'll just start I'll open up the wall. What's the problem? So the Piazetzner Rebbe says, you have to understand that even if we don't understand, it's all for the best. And that's what Hashem's trying to show us. But I think we could probably add to that idea and say that there's a process here. And even if we don't understand this process, it doesn't make sense. Why am I turning out my house? It doesn't make sense. If I know that the house is impure, why do I need to bring a coin here? It should just be impure. There's a process. And you kind of have to just trust that process. So here we are in quarantine, not really understanding and maybe not even figuring out, like, we don't have like oh, now I know why this is happening. I don't think anybody can say that. But this is a process. And like I said, we have to trust the process. Shabbat Shalom. And may we be out of this process very soon. Kol Tuv.